Mom, this is What Would You Say To series by Joshua Chevron. What would you say to Scott Morrison? Scott, the Australian people were clear that they wanted a conservative government who could deliver jobs and growth. They didn't believe Malcolm Turnbull's mantra of jobs and growth, given his green left agenda, and they knew someone like yourself could deliver jobs and growth in the face of inconsistent statements on things like Adani, uncosted promises and the like by Bill Shorten. That was the real commencement of your leadership of Australia, and we now find it has been impacted by bushfires, to which your performance was questioned in terms of your commitment as Australians faced adversity. We now face further adversity after the floods with coronavirus, and by the looks of you, the family holiday in Hawaii probably would have done you some good. Our politicians need to have breaks, especially our Prime Minister, and there is no good time for a Prime Minister to have a holiday. If there is a down part of a diary for a Prime Minister, then your Chief of Staff is not doing their job. You are doing a good job with coronavirus. Greg Hunt is doing a good job with coronavirus, and the commencement of the National Cabinet has been an excellent initiative that many hope continues to address the numerous changes that will be necessary to be agreed as we go through a hard reset and pivot. Coronavirus and the lack of care and communication from China and the World Health Organization, which in China's case borders on reckless indifference to other countries of the world, has highlighted that what Senator Hanson has been saying for a long time, that Australian sovereignty is critical, is correct. I note with great recognition you're entering the oil market and purchasing oil supplies to lift Australia's oil supplies up from 23 days nearer to the international benchmark. Your decision to build onshore storage of additional oil reserves for Australia is encouraging. It is encouraging because it signals to us that you are aware that issues of self-reliance, national security, sovereignty and national resilience are important to your government, as they are now front of mind issues and critically important to Australians. The welfare budget, the $200 billion that you've expended, although necessary, is alarming. The increase in debt burden for the federal government is concerning. Your desire to build federal revenues in terms of tax through economic growth is desirable, but you must back that rhetoric up with a reduction in red, green and black tape, a drive towards shovel-ready private projects and infrastructure projects, including nation building, which must include dams and an overall water plan. You need to rewrite the energy plan to include a new uranium industry, to include mining uranium for energy, and Australia as the world's #1 spent rod uranium depository. Dams, energy, infrastructure, innovation, entrepreneurship, new industries, bringing high-tech manufacture back to Australia, reliance in critical national security industries, and most importantly, information technology and technology as a solution for both our hard reset pivot in the economy and also to improve our contribution to climate action is critical. You've mentioned before that technology is part of the solution for climate action, and you are correct. Australians generally believe we have got the response to coronavirus right, but your real test comes now with the economic levers and your mastery of getting new legislation, which is vital, through the crossbenchers. Australians will place pressure on Centre Alliance, the Greens, Jackie Lambie and Pauline Hanson and One Nation to do the right thing by the country. But your government must do that as well. There should be no corporate tax reductions, although they're vital, without coming up with a solution for the low compliance and payment of tax by foreign corporations operating in Australia or their downstream Australian subsidiaries operating in Australia. They use our resources, they should pay tax. We are confident that you have the wherewithal with Josh Frydenberg and Matthias Cormann to get through this tough 12-month period. We agree with Philip Lowe that you need to take the opportunity and become known as the reformist Prime Minister in this term of government. We believe Christian Porter has the intelligence and the fortitude to lead your government business to get it done, and we need you to get it done. We wish you well. We wish you more power to your arm, but now is a time for action. And 12 months from now, you can rest assured the Australian people will be reflecting on what their Prime Minister and their Commonwealth government has done to make the situation and their lives better. This has been What Would You Say to Scott Morrison by Joshua Chevron.